What's up, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Game of the Week show. I'm Matt, that's Dan, and that is Ash.
Ew.
Hello. Before we start this, I thought we'd introduce a new topic to the show. Pokemon Go update.
Oh, God.
How many are you up to now?
35.
It's poor effort.
Yeah, but I'm not really bothered about it.
I know you're not a big fan of Pokemon. That's fine. It means that I can beat you, so that's
Go
good.
on, tell us. I know you only asked because you want
Dan?
to tell us what you're on.
Level 8 and mid-30s?
So you're both you. See?
We're both the same.
Level 15, 86 Pokemon. Unique Pokemon. So I'm well over halfway now. Still paling in comparison to one guy who's caught them all. He's not going to be in the news today. I just thought we'd start with this because I'm trying to make the show not all about Pokemon, which I know is ironic because that's all we've talked about for the first 30 seconds. But just let people know if they've come to watch Pokemon Go stats and news, they're in the wrong place. What we are here to talk about is the rest of the video game news. We get together every Monday. We talk about the top stories within the industry. We'll then also look at the new game releases for that week, and then we'll each pick our favourite game of the week. So if you are a fan of video game news, conversations, let's plays, reviews, and more, you can find out everything on our website, thegamerinitiative.com. So let's kick off. Now we've got our Pokemon Go out of the way.
The exciting bit, yeah.
With an announcement that just came just over the weekend as part of San Diego Comic-Con. Sonic. He's making a comeback.
Apparently so.
He hasn't been relevant for about 20 years, but he has actually now been around for 25 years.
Yeah, they have been doing stuff. I mean, I know that they've still got a kids show going and things like that. So I mean, Sonic as a character has been around, but from a game point of view, yeah.
The game's been around, but they've all been crap, like the Sonic Boom and stuff.
We've had one or two, yeah.
I think it's once they started venturing off the 2D side scroll to 3D worlds. Is
They tried to evolve it.
Yeah,
they were never gonna. It was never gonna be Mario. They were never as good as Mario anyway, and they just didn't. I think there's a potential to have good 3D platform games. We've seen it with Mario, with Ratchet and Clank, Jack and Daxter, but they also just
I think
couldn't
that's
do it.
where they really struggled.
Yeah.
Because they didn't really know what Sonic was, other than that he could run fast.
Yeah.
So anyway, to mark this 25th anniversary, Sega have announced 2 new games that will be coming to consoles next year. First up, we had Sonic Mania, which is going to be a 2D platformer. It's going to show a lot of visuals and gameplay reminiscent of the classic Mega Drive games, which we've seen in the trailer. There's also going to be they're going to revamp the zones and the acts that we've seen, like Classic Hill Zone, Marble Zone, all of those classics we've seen, and then introduce some new ones as well. So that looks pretty cool. That will be coming in the spring of 2017 to PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
Yeah.
Happy about this one?
I am, yes. For me, you can't beat the original, the classic, and it would be nice to go back to where it all began. So yeah, I'm really keen to pick this up.
Dan, in the same vein, seeing as we are the Sega kids on the sofa.
Yeah, that's the Sonic
So-
that I played. It's like I didn't play the more recent games as they came out. It was the ones on the Sega that I played.
Yeah.
So that's what I want to go back to.
Sonic 1, 2, 3, and Sonic and Knuckles as well. Do you remember Sonic and Knuckles was like, it had like this weird cartridge that you could like plug the game. What you did is it came with an additional cartridge, and you could plug Sonic 2 and 3 into the top Sonic and Knuckles, and then it just basically put Knuckles into those games. Do you remember that?
I don't know, but
Yeah,
I
it was
know
really
that,
weird.
So.
Yeah, I don't remember that either.
I'm pretty sure I wasn't just going insane. I'm pretty sure that is a real thing. In addition to this, the second game that was revealed, we don't have a title for it, but it looks like some sort of 3D adventure. The new trailer shows the evil Eggman who's kind of taken over some city. It looks like definitely shit's going down, basically.
Yeah.
And
Apocalypse. Sonic Apocalypse, yeah.
Sonic getting very angry. You see the fist clench as he then runs down towards Eggman using his speed, and there's a duet of Sonics. I don't know what the plural of Sonic is. Sonics. Anyway, there's 2 of them. But that's all we see. Like, basically,
That is all we see. It is limited. You can't really gauge much about the game at this stage. But yeah, it's like going back to what you were saying before about a full sort of 2016-17 spec game as to what we would expect Sonic. So moving from the 2D to the full sort of platform 3D adventure we would want.
yeah.
Is fine, but the only thing I would say is after seeing like the kids like Sonic program and also some of the other games they brought out, more recently is that I'd like to see Sonic's character be a bit more not so childlike.
Have a bit more depth and dimension to him.
Yeah, and like sometimes with my son, I have to watch like Sonic and stuff and play these games, and it's terrible. I don't.
I have to. I hate it so much.
I don't like his high pitched, squeaky little childish voice, and it just doesn't match his.
Sorry, your son's voice will break eventually.
I would like to see more of a character.
We do know that Sega have acknowledged that they have released some crap in the past. I don't have the exact quote here,
Okay.
but they basically came out and said they want to go back and they want to go back to making great games again, and they acknowledged that in certain instances they've maybe sacrificed quality.
Yeah.
And that's something that they're not willing to do. It was actually a very honest quote for someone to basically admit, these games have been a bit crap, but we're going to do better now, we promise.
Okay.
Yeah, between the years of 1990 something or other until we've released some awful games.
They've got a lot to do though, because Sonic isn't really relevant anymore. It seems that a lot of people, obviously, Mario's still very relevant, and people still are holding on to this Crash Bandicoot thing. But I don't think as many people seem to care about Sonic, so they need to make a really good game. Hopefully the Mania will get people to remember what they enjoyed as a kid in the build-up, and then obviously this Untitled project will... I mean, if it's good enough, people will play it.
Yeah.
But it needs to be good. And I think this is probably the last chance they're going to get to make Sonic be relevant again.
I would agree, and I think by releasing the sort of retro edition of Sonic, that's going to help. I think just gather an audience in, get the appeal in, and then on the back of that, obviously have a new game. So that they're probably going about it the right way. I think they've just got to, obviously, as you say, deliver on the new game.
Nostalgia's a powerful thing. I mean, like you've seen that with Pokemon Go. There's one thing,
A few people are playing it,
and it's people our age and so on who would have played the original Sonics. So having a original looking Sonic game is going to play off that nostalgia factor for them there.
It will. But like I said, I think it only goes so far. Like Pokemon has the luxury of the fact that it's continued to release great games over the years, whereas Sonic hasn't released a great game since Sonic 3. Yeah. And some would even argue that Sonic was never actually that great to begin with.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see. I will remain optimistic until it officially dies, basically. Moving on. Sony fans, PlayStation 4 owners can now rejoice in the fact that Lara Croft will finally be coming to your console in October this year. Rise of the Tomb Raider has its release date for PS4 1 year after its exclusive release on the Xbox One. October 11th is the date. And in addition to that, as a way of saying thank you for waiting, they have announced a brand new 20-year celebration edition, which in addition to the main game is going to come with brand new story chapter called Blood Ties, which is actually going to also feature PSVR support. And in this story, you're going to have to explore Croft Manor to find proof that Lara's still the rightful heir, or risk losing the manor and her name for good. There's also going to be some kind of zombie play invasion mode, which of course every single game has to have a zombie mode now.
Has to now, isn't it? It's the law.
So it's Lara's nightmare mode. You have to basically defend the manor from the zombie invasion. There's going to be new co-op endurance gameplay. There's going to be new outfits that came from Tomb Raider 3 into New Dawn. All the DLC that's come out for the game to date will also be included. And you'll also be able to use various game models of Lara from over the years into Rise of Tomb Raider, which you see from the trailer looks hilariously out of place.
It does look a little bit out of place when the rest of the game is, looking pristine in every element, and then all of a sudden...
See a triangle Tomb Raider.
A triangle Tomb Raider character pops up. Lara Croft pops up.
Yeah.
She might have a gun, I don't know.
So... in addition to that, we should also add, for those people who are either like a challenge or are very, very good at video games, they are introducing a new Extreme Survivor difficulty, which basically will take the survivor difficulty of the game originally and ramp it up a few levels, and also removes all the checkpoints from within the game as well.
So you've got to play that in one go.
Well, there's
you'll still have the level spots.
No, there's still the level spots. Ash will know from playing the game. There's campfires
Yes.
that you have to
Yeah.
basically set up, and then you can basically save the game there.
Yeah.
So basically, you'll go back to your campfire. So if you're in a
Okay.
battle and you die, you'll go back to the last campfire you had.
Okay, so it's not quite.
It's not
that brutal.
It's not
not
like
that brutal.
It's not like the Far Cry Primal, where you basically once you die, you
Yeah.
have to start the game all over again.
Yeah, that's...
But it is still pretty extreme. So obviously, Dan, you haven't had a chance to play the game yet.
correct.
Are you excited for this? In the fact that not only will you get the game, you get all these extra bits added on as well. So effectively, getting more value for your money.
I'm happy the game's coming. I kind of feel that that's a lot extra to be throwing at someone for having to wait around.
That's a good thing, though, surely.
No,
isn't
yeah,
it?
no, but as in, like, for those who are able to adopt it on the Xbox side, how is this stuff coming to them, if at all?
Well, they have said that all of this stuff will be added to the season pass. So if you bought the season pass, you get it for free. But as I was saying to you before, I shelled out my 50 quid. Ash shelled out his 50 quid on day one, and we just got the base game. Okay, yeah, we could have bought the season pass for an extra 20 quid or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But for 50 quid now, you're getting so much more value than what we did.
Yeah.
Now, I know that happens with all games because they always release like Game of the Year editions and stuff, and I know it happens. It's just a little bit. Especially the exclusive PlayStation VR thing as well.
Yeah.
It's like, that's a bit... rubs me the wrong way. Just a little. Just a little.
Yeah.
I don't care that much. I enjoyed the game. It was a
Yeah.
fantastic game.
Ditto, yeah.
But-
it's the same for me. I think, we're somebody who could have waited. We didn't have to be
Yeah.
a day one adopter. Could have happily waited, and actually, if we had, we would have been better off. But you think, okay, well, we're loyal game purchasers and fans of these games, and we go out and buy them on day one.
You know it all the time, though. You guarantee, we all bought Uncharted on day one.
Yeah.
If we'd waited until the end of this year, we could have probably picked it up for half the price. You know that
Yeah.
going in.
Yeah.
You know it's always going to be cheaper at some point in the future.
Yeah,
So it's whether or not you are willing to wait or whether you want to get it. And more importantly, they have to do a lot to entice people, because a lot of people are like, oh, fuck you, Square, if you're going into bed with Xbox, we're now not going to support your game. So, I mean, that was just business. I mean, people need to get off their high horses. It was a way for Square to be guaranteed to get probably millions of dollars.
yeah.
And
I know.
they need a way for They need to entice these PS4 owners to buy the game. Effectively, what is a year-old game. So,
Yeah.
I mean, is it enough for you? Will you buy it?
I was going to be buying it anyway.
Okay. So now definitely.
I would have bought the base game. As in, like, I'm not
Yeah.
worried about all the extra stuff being thrown in.
Well, you can give all the the extra stuff to me then. Not that it will work because I won't have the PS4 version. I wonder if I could wait and then go to like a shop and go, someone was supposed to buy me Rise of the Tomb Raider for Christmas, but they bought me the Xbox one rather than the PS4.
Not going to work. It's opened.
Yeah, I know. And it's probably got a code on it that shows like from when
Yeah.
it was printed.
That's-
But anyway, good news for PlayStation fans.
It is.
It's a really good game, isn't it, Ash?
It is a great game.
It is a must-buy, I think.
I love the idea that this game is incorporating VR on PlayStation. I think that'll be nice, and it's nice to see. Even if we don't have complete sort of compatibility in terms of full game VR, it's nice at least to give every game a little taster of what VR is at such an early stage of VR.
Yeah. Well, of course, I mean, Tomb Raider's fundamentally a third-person game, which we've talked before. I'm not quite sure how that would work in VR. Anyway, but this particular section is a first-person section, so that's
Yeah.
obviously why it will work in VR. So,
Yeah.
good news for Sony fans, hopefully good news for Square, and good news for fans of Tomb Raider. Something that's not quite so good news, however, though, is potentially another legal battle for Hello Games and No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
No longer than, was it 3 weeks ago, we spoke about how they finally resolved I think it was like a 3-year dispute with
Yeah.
B-Sky-B over the use of using Sky in their name, and we said, what bullshit, like that's even like a legal thing nowadays. So something as kind of sketchy as that can become a legal battle. Something like this could almost certainly become a legal battle. Basically, a Dutch company who goes by the name... Someone's just got run over playing Pokemon Go. A Dutch company by the name of Genicap have claimed that they own the patent for a super formula which Hello Games have apparently used in order to help generate their quintillion planets within the game. Now, the actual patent, you can't own the rights to something like a patent, to a formula, but you can own the patent to the application of it.
Yep.
And they own the application of the formula for graphical programs, which doesn't explicitly say video games, but it's pretty much inferred that would be something for it. We don't actually know if it's going to be the exact formula, but Sean Murray at Hello Games has referenced this super formula in the past, saying how it was the most stable, so it is kind of highly likely that is what they're using. And Genicap have said, while they don't want to stop the launch of the game, if the formula is being used, we'll have to have a talk. I think it'll be a little bit more than a talk.
Yeah.
So,
it does. Yeah, it does make you wonder. I mean, if that is the case, is it not just going to be a case of I don't know, paying them?
It probably is, but how much? I mean,
for the use.
Let's have a look. If I was Genicap, hypothetically, and I knew that the game they built wouldn't function the way it would without my formula, I'd want a pretty sizable chunk of that money. I'm not going to just be like, just give me 5%, that's fine. I'm gonna go after 30, 40, 50, 60% of proceeds. Now bear in mind they already have to give 30% to Sony, because through the PlayStation Store, and also more than likely Sony has very much got behind this game and kind of effectively put money into it. So there's probably already a certain percentage they're giving up to Sony. You keep giving slices of a pie to everyone, how much is going to be left for yourself? And it's potentially a multi-million-dollar game.
I suppose as well, more importantly, is if it proves or transpires that they have used this super formula, which apparently is somebody else's, it does make you question as to, how have they obtained this, and how have they stumbled across this because it's their own formula? Have they created this formula and it just so happens it's the same formula as someone else?
That's the thing. I mean, like I said, I know Sean Murray's referenced this formula in the past. So I mean, it's just algorithms. So it's just numbers.
Yes.
It's not it's maths. It's not going to be it's probably publicly available thing. It's just figures on a spreadsheet or on whatever it's on. So that's not really something that's private. It's not like intellectual property you've stolen, but at the same time, if someone owns basically the use, if someone has successfully applied for a patent that basically says, if someone wants to solve something by using my formula, they have to basically agree to usage of it.
Yeah.
And therefore, it's like music with royalties, isn't it? You can use someone's song, but you have to pay royalties for it, and this is probably going to very much be a similar case.
Yeah, it's like, as you say, music, you don't own the C major scale.
No.
But if you happen to put the chords in the right format to what someone else has done previously, then you're copying their song, kind of.
Yeah. I'm going to patent the usage of number 2. This is my favourite number. Spent many hours with it. I don't know. So there's no official comment from Hello Games or anything on this yet. I'm sure this will be another story that's going to drag on, and we will bring updates as it happens. But the important thing is, like they said, they don't want to stop the launch of the game. So all things being well, we will still see the game coming out in just a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah, I mean, for all you know, it could have been built off this formula to begin with, but they've changed it enough to turn it into their own thing, and therefore they don't actually have to worry about anything.
Well, yeah.
It's just a case of they have to now have it scrutinised.
Remember that guy, just thinking off the top of my head of recent legal battles, the guy who went and set up the studio that made this Ark Survival Evolved game?
Yes.
He left that studio and he apparently had a non-compete and then stole the whole team and basically made the game that they were already planning on doing inside. Well, it wasn't the same game, was it? But he basically stole everything and he went against it, and they just settled. They just gave him a bit of money and they were happy.
Yeah.
That's that. There will probably be some sort of settlement at some point.
Apparently, if I remember what I've seen correctly, Genicap had actually gone bankrupt at one point. So they might just be trying to get some money, funds, and a quick settlement will be all they want.
I mean, Sean Murray doesn't seem like an idiot. He seems like quite a smart, on-the-pace guy. So I'm pretty sure if he has used something, he's probably looked into the implications of its usage. And if he's already had lawyers, on speed dial for the D-Sky base, he might have already asked them about it anyway. So
just imagine having to place that phone call though. It's like, hi guys, it's me again.
What do you mean?
What now?
We got another one.
Moving on then. Xbox, Microsoft. We know they have been very successful in the home console market with the Xbox 360, and now the Xbox One. But it appears there was a time when they almost made a handheld. So I know Ash always talks about it. It was his prediction, and so a recent interview with a former Xbox executive, Robbie Batch, has actually shared details of how close they were. He says that it was always, well, not always, but often referred to internally as the X-Boy. I'm pretty sure that would have never been the actual name, because otherwise it would have been.
I wonder what Japanese company might have come after them for that.
Yeah.
But yes, he said that he doesn't remember it ever reaching as far as prototype, but there were definitely multiple drawings of the handheld, and it was something that they were often discussing internally because they wanted to be part of that ecosystem. But ultimately, the reason it never happened was just that they couldn't focus on it. They couldn't give it enough resources because they were too focused on making the 360. And in hindsight, it turned out to be a wonderful decision because the Xbox 360 went on to be one of the best-selling consoles of all time, whereas handheld gaming has kind of fallen away as the smartphone and the tablet have kind of come to popularity. So, quite an interesting story. We've seen many concepts around, and I don't know. Would you have ever bought one if they had made one?
I think it depends
On the timing of when it. So this was.
Yeah.
I think it would have.
If this was
what they're offering as well.
If this was being made around the same time they were focusing on the 360, the 360 came out November 05. So this was obviously focusing on that. You're probably talking the early noughties that this was being designed. So around the time of the PSP. The PSP launched in 04 or 05.
It's around that time. I don't know.
I was working at Woolworths at the time, so it was around then.
I think.
So they were still popular then.
Well, I had the PSP, so it's unlikely I probably would have bought this anyway if I already had a PSP back then. I think. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if it was a more recent thing, and we were talking last year before that, we were maybe talking about a new sort of handheld console that is better than the Vita, Xbox version that is better than the Vita that we currently use. Perhaps it would be considered, but back then I doubt it. No, I mean, I was happy with my PSP at the time.
Yeah, it's not often, is it, Dan, that a company basically can't get something over the line because they can't dedicate to it, and then it ends up actually not coming back to bite. Not that it doesn't come out to bite them, but it actually ends up rewarding them because. Yeah. If that console had come out, if they'd gone into the handheld space, where you look at the Vita now, I mean...
It's something they'd have been throwing money at and not recouping it from.
Yeah. I mean, I would have definitely bought one, of course. But, I mean, it's not something, like you said, we have the Vita, we have the 3DS. It's not something I've ever missed. I've never gone, man, I really wish I could have played Halo on the go. And obviously now with Play Anywhere... If you have a Windows 10 laptop, you're basically able to play all these games.
Yeah.
Just buy yourself a gaming laptop and you'll be able to play all these games on the go now anyway.
Yeah.
If you're willing to buy digitally. That's the only... It's the decision you got to make now.
Sucks.
I know. I can't buy digitally. I'm already started physical, so I have to see out the rest of this generation physical. It's kind of how my logic works.
Yeah.
If I'd started digitally, it'd have been fine, but because I've started physical, I feel like I have to see it through.
Do you reckon they'll eventually just release like a section of Microsoft built gaming laptops where you can just stick the disc in and it'll recognise it, regardless of whether it's made for Xbox?
I probably reckon no, because I think they're going digital. But on your first point, will they make Microsoft gaming laptops? 100%. They've already done it with the Surface Pro laptop they've made.
Yeah.
Super expensive. So I think, although that's more for, it's not really.
That's a business thing, really.
It's a business, but it's not really got the graphics chip on board to run games. But I think that's, as they look to move towards more hardware, I think it's definitely something that they'll look at. But yeah, I mean, you don't want disk drives in your laptops now because you need them to be as thin as possible.
True.
So, final news item of the day. This is just a pretty quick one before we move on to the games. More of a public service announcement, if you will.
PSA.
Life is Strange. Fantastic game from last year. I've bigged it up enough times on this channel to go into it again. Ash has played a little bit of it. Dan has not yet played any. No. But now he has absolutely zero excuse because episode 1 has gone free. This is an indefinite move by Square Enix, and they said that they're really excited that new players will now be able to explore the world of Arcadia Bay. And I think, personally, this is a really smart move. We saw Telltale do it a little bit with Game of Thrones, didn't they? They made that free for a while, and that got you onto it.
Yep.
You played the first one, I'm like, yeah, this is good. I'm now going to have to fork out. And the clever thing is by even making the first episode free, when you buy a season pass, which gives you all episodes, they give you enough discount on the season pass that you normally get one episode free anyway. So you're either going to buy the remaining episodes, or you're going to buy the season pass, which includes episode 1. And either way, you're going to end up spending the same amount of money. So you don't actually really save any money.
No.
But it just gets you...
It gets you in the door, basically, yeah.
So I think it's a really smart move.
Yeah, and I waited until all the episodes came out and bought the physical box set of all episodes. Still haven't played much of it other than episode 1, but working through it, and I do plan to play all of it. It is very
Summer.
good.
Perfect time to be playing it.
It is. It is a very good game.
So, Dan, you're going to go and give it a download now? Check it out?
I will download it when my internet eventually lets me download it, so if I go home
If you go home and start
today...
it, if it started today, it might be done in time for November.
Yes. It's
Yeah.
so bad at the moment.
But yeah, there you go. Make sure you all go and download it and check it out. If it's not for you, then it's not for you. But I think more people will like it than people that don't like it. It is a very good game. And it does get better until the last episode. But we won't go into that. Let's move on to the games for this week. The last episode is not bad. It just has one really crappy stealth section, which just feels completely out of place. And the ending's very anticlimactic because... But I can't think of a way they could have ended it better. But it's just one of those, when you build up to something, you kind of almost build yourself into like a...
Too much.
Into a corner. And it's like, well, there's only really one or two ways this can go. But yeah, anyway.
Games.
This is not the Life is Strange spoilercast discussion. And I can't go into too much detail because you guys haven't finished it yet.
Correct, you can't.
This week's games, the big release, if we can call it that, of the week is Song of the Deep, which has come to PS4, Xbox One and PC. This is from Insomniac Games, and this is actually the first game that is being published by Game Trust. Do you know who Game Trust are?
No.
This is GameStop. That's why I always get confused between GameStop and GameSpot. GameStop is the...
GameStop is the store.
Yeah, so GameStop.
The store.
The store.
The store. The
Schmocken. So yeah, this is the first game that's been published by GameStop's kind of publishing arm. They're kind of getting it... They've announced that they've got into a couple of publishing things. So basically, if you want... It's available digitally, but if you want a physical version, the only way to get it is from a GameStop, which... slight problem for us folk in Guernsey.
Yeah.
Because we only have local store and HMV, but obviously anywhere else you're okay. UK will have it. So it's a Metroidvania type game, 2D, kind of underwater, having to rescue some woman. Can't remember who now. But
Isn't it you're a woman looking for a father?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
I knew a woman was involved somewhere.
A woman's always involved.
Of course it is. So yeah, it's getting mixed reviews. Some people are loving it. Some people are saying it's good, but its controls are a little bit dodgy. Mastering underwater controls is never something that's been done before. I don't think. I was trying to think of. There's a reason why there's not many underwater games But
Well, to be honest,
it looks pretty.
in most games, if you suddenly get thrown into an underwater level, most people groan as well.
Unless you're playing Echo the Dolphin. That's where it was at, yeah.
No, I quite like the Sonic underwater stuff.
No, that's a pain in the ass because he always fucking drowns.
No, it wasn't. It was fine. You just had
Bubbles.
to get to the bubbles. It's
Yeah, I
fine.
know.
Anyway,
But yeah, check that out if you're a fan of Metroidvania games. Either of you excited by this game particularly?
not overly. Yeah, I mean it's not really my kind of game, if I'm being honest.
You like to be on land or in the sky?
Yeah, I like to have feet on
Above sea level.
Yeah, that's it.
10-second Ninja X.
X, don't forget the X.
X gonna give it to you. PS4, Xbox One, and Vita. This looks like a very fun game. It's very
It does.
fast paced.
Yeah.
It's basically a platformer, but you have to solve every level within 10 seconds. But luckily, you're a ninja, so you can move everywhere super fast.
Yes.
Like
Yeah,
it?
it's a good concept. I like that, you're going to have different levels of varying sort of challenge, and every episode, every level, has got to be completed in 10 seconds. It's the kind of game really that would, you're going to have a level where you are going to be wanting to throw your controller against the wall.
Or your Vita.
Into a few pieces. Or the Vita, yes.
Good game for the Vita, I
It is
reckon.
a funstration game.
That's a good word for it.
Completely.
Yeah.
100%.
There's 60 levels, and I think you'll get through the first 15 or so. Well, that's not too bad. And then all of a sudden you hit a wall, and it's like, there's no way this level can be done in 20 seconds. Or 10 seconds.
10 seconds.
20 seconds is a lifetime in this game.
Yeah, it would be.
It's that like super easy mode where they just extend the clock.
Games like this really do make me angry. I've had them before, and yes,
Super Meat Boy.
they're fun to start with, but they quickly make you very angry and irritable.
But it's like you can't put it down. Like when you know, because you basically work out exactly how to do the level. It's like, right, I just need to do this, this, and this. But you can't do it. It's like,
Yeah.
I will do this. It's so simple. It's like, all I need to do. And then you start blaming the controller or the person. It's like, no, you're supposed to go there. Well, I'm telling you to go.
It starts off with brain figures it out, but hands won't do what they're supposed to do. Then hands are supposed to be doing what they're doing, but the controller's not working right.
Damn controller. It's always the controller's fault.
Because it must be on
Fucking
the battery,
bullshit,
therefore
that's
it
what
needs
it
to be
is.
charged.
Yeah. Gal Gun double piece on the PS4. Ash, want to give a quick synopsis of this game?
Well, I think it's definitely Japanese pornographic game of the week. It would appear to be you can. I don't even know how to describe this game.
Basically,
It's so weird.
imagine a game. Basically, just imagine my life, but in a game, because it's basically where every single girl wants a piece of you. So just put that into a game, and there you go. It's basically called Matt Southwell the game. So, but in Japanese, it looks pretty good. 50 quid, absolute bargain. Go
You
and buy
have
it.
the opportunity to touch up.
Japanese schoolgirls, beautiful.
Such a weird game.
I am Satsuna on the PS4. This is a JRPG game. It's been released by... Oh, why did I not? It's a Square Enix development team. Should have wrote their name down. But basically they've been formed for the sole purpose of bringing back the...
Sexy back.
Bringing the sexy back. Yeah, definitely. Of 90s Japanese role-playing games. So if you are a big fan of this genre, if you grew up loving these games from the 90s, then almost certainly I Am Satsuna is going to be the game for you this week. Unfortunately, no one sitting on this sofa was a fan of JRPGs growing up, so we will move swiftly on.
Sounds good to me.
I played one.
Final Fantasy.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 8.
Well, actually, technically, Pokemon is technically
Oh, I
a
suppose.
JRPG.
Okay,
because
two.
the only difference between a JRPG and an RPG is it's a Japanese role-playing game, and technically Pokemon is.
Yes.
So everyone has always loved one, at least one, apart from Ash, because he's
So I
old.
played two then.
Funny.
Gold and silver.
I wasn't counting the
Okay.
individuals.
Not on PS4. Just looks like a very simple puzzle game.
Not the normal sort of puzzle
Blocks
game
of
we
wood,
see.
and you have
Yeah.
to move them all out and stuff. You'll see a level playing. You're a big fan of puzzle games, Ash?
I am, and the only thing with this puzzle game is it's more the sort of puzzle game that I feel you would want to do in the physical. So, when it's the kind of thing that I would expect, like...
Looks like Jenga, doesn't it?
it's the kind of like Secret Santa present that I would expect someone to buy me.
That doesn't really know you, so they just buy the generic thing.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing I'd buy like a distant uncle or something.
Yeah.
It's the puzzle game in the physical world where you reach the point where it's actually like, I can't break it apart. There we go.
Yeah.
Maybe if you're lucky, you'll get it in one of those really good luxury Christmas crackers.
Yes.
Rather than
yes.
like a plastic paperclip or something that you normally get in these.
If you get one of those in your Christmas crackers, because you've gone around every single one, weighing them up, it's like light, ooh,
It's
heavy, mine.
God, Christmas crackers are a waste of time, aren't they?
Yes.
Anyway, we won't get into that right now. We'll go to Ninja Pizza Girl on the PS4 and Xbox One. So the second Ninja game of the week. I like pizzas. I like girls. I like ninjas. Perfect game, right?
You would think.
Dan, excited to see this one? This looks like a standard side scroller where you battle people and deliver pizzas.
Like, there didn't really seem to be anything stand out about it. If I'm honest, it's just run of the mill.
How about Obliterators then? More a fan of this one on the PS4?
Yes.
This one, up to 16 players. Combat Racer, I believe, is
Combat
the genre.
Racer. Yes, yeah.
It looks pretty crazy.
Yeah. I think it's good, good title, good concept. Pretty manic, I should think, with that many people on the same track.
I told you the moment the trailer started up with the music, it's like, this one's won this week. So, yeah.
It does have a very good soundtrack on the trailer. It did say that you can use your smartphone, but this was the PC trailer, so I don't know if that's going to work with the PS4 version or not. But I would imagine that if you do have 16-player local co-op on the PS4 version, then you're going to have to use your smartphone because only so many controllers can connect.
You can only sync up to 8.
8, I think.
It?
Yeah. Organ Trail on the PS4. This is a very, very simple. Not even really 8-bit, 2 bits.
It's 4 bits.
It's if you've ever heard of Oregon Trail, we talked about that when we did our Video Game Hall of Fame, which is like an old school kind of education game. This is just taken that game and made it into like a zombie survival game.
Yeah,
very simple. Like the concept of it, Dan? Interested in it at all?
I'm not going to play it, but I think it works. It just takes a concept that worked for people. Like the Oregon Trail was used in the US. And it's going to take, again, it's not nostalgia sort of feeling and just giving them a different way of playing it, because obviously zombie games are very big and there's like 1,000 of them right now.
Of course. We can't have a week without a zombie game.
It's reskinning them, like something that people enjoyed, into something else.
It's very reminiscent of my earliest memories of video games, I must say, back in the 80s. So, yeah.
Yeah. Right, we've got a few more here which we'll just go through pretty quickly. We've got Psychonauts on the PS4. This is another one of these classic PS2 re-releases onto the PS4. I'm sure most of you have heard of Psychonauts. It's a action adventure game where you follow around some psychic character trying to solve all the mysteries and shit. Very kind of cartoon drawing, colourful.
Yeah.
Anything else? Ever play this game on the PS2?
No.
Excited?
No, doesn't really appeal to me.
I didn't play it back then, and I have no inclination to play it now, to be honest.
Rallycopters on the PS4. This is pretty much as the title would suggest. It's a racer with helicopters, but looks like a checkpoint racer, but a lot of obstacles in your way. Pretty fast paced. Another one of these games that could be pretty difficult as well.
It looks
in testing, but looks cool.
Yeah,
I do like it.
It does look good, and exactly like I said earlier, I think the movement of the helicopter, it's going to be very much sort of twin stick based. So it's going to be very hard, I think, to control this thing.
Probably will be.
Yeah.
Probably like flying a helicopter. Not as straightforward as you would think.
Yeah.
And then the final game on PS4 and Xbox One is Sword Coast Legends, which very, very simply is Dungeons and Dragons, the video game, basically. It's an RPG, as you would probably expect. And I'm not going to add anything else unless either of you want to, because I have zero interest in Dungeons and Dragons.
Nothing to comment on that, really.
Yeah, I've never played it, so I don't know how it all works, to be honest.
Bunch of nerds, that's all I'm going to say. I know it's very hypercritical of me, but yeah, I'm sticking with it.
Okay.
Game of the week this week. Let's go to Ash first.
I think choice is limited for want of better words.
That's what we're talking about. Game of the year's already there, mate. Number 3 on your list.
No, the anime Japanese
Myself for a video game.
porno feeler up game is not for me. No, I think 10 Second Ninja X. Don't forget the X. 10 Second Ninja X is probably out of that shortlist the best one for me. Whilst it's a game that I would probably find very frustrating, I think it is very good value for money.
Sounds like £4 or something.
Yeah.
There's extra discount for PS Plus users, an extra 10% off. So
I like the idea. It is also on the beta as well.
cross buy as well. So buy it on one, get it for both.
Cross buy.
Dan?
I am going with Obliterators. It's like not because of the trailer music, but because
It helped though.
Of course it helps. But no, because I think that's a game that will actually be...
It's a fun little party game.
Again, it's one of those, because it's got local co-op, you can have people sit down and just do it on the one TV rather than having to be like, right, everyone be logged in at like 8 PM and then we'll race.
The only difficult thing is finding 16 people I know that want to play video games with me at the same time.
15.
There is
Or
that.
just full stop.
There is that problem.
15.
Well, technically, yeah, 15, I suppose. I'll let myself play. I'm going to go with 10 Second Ninja X as well. I think it looks fun. I like these kind of games, as you said. Frustration is a good word, but very, very simple. There'll be the pure satisfaction of nailing those levels, because when you get to the end, you will have to do everything perfectly. And the satisfaction of when you do it inside 500 attempts is a beautiful feeling. It must be said. After about 2 hours of pure rage and anger, and my dog sitting in the corner of the room with just pure fear in his eyes, saying, "Why are you so angry?"
Yeah.
I really hope this has a platinum, and then
I'm not getting it.
no, but then it's like you have to complete it with like 5 fails or less.
No. Or like perfectly, no fails.
Yeah. Something ridiculous that's like the only trophy you have left, and then it like drives you to try and do it.
Yeah.
Not gonna happen.
No. I'm already telling you right now, I don't care how easy it is, I'm not getting this platinum, because it's not going to be easy. So that's it for this week on the Game of the Week show. Let us know down below, are you excited for the return of Sonic? Are you going to be picking up Rise of Tomb Raider if you didn't play it in the first place? Let us know what you think of Life is Strange when you get to play it as well. And tell us how you enjoy Galgun Double Peace, because I'm sure I'll let you know as well how much I enjoy it.
Well, apparently it's your life, so you're already enjoying it.
Wow, that's alright. But for now, Dan, thank you.
Cheers, Matt.
Ash, thank you,
Thanks,
as
Matt.
always. And everyone out there, thanks for watching. We will see you all next time.